Hey all my people, how you doing? I hope you're having an amazing damn day. This video is all about my favorite tactics, my favorite formation, my favorite instructions that I like to give to the team, the players and all that stuff, and that helps me win. It's just my preference, of course. Let me know down below yours, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So of course I've gone ahead and selected Manchester United, and the favorite formation that I like using for the Manchester United team is the 4-2-3-1. It's the narrow one though, so don't make it the wide one, it's the narrow one, because you want that interchangeable movements between the three players behind the striker, which is Ronaldo, of course. So you want Bruno playing as a winger sometimes, you want Rashford playing just behind Ronaldo sometimes, you want Sancho on free roam, and of course you want your defenders to be well looked after with those two holding midfielders. Moving on to the tactics though, we have got pressure on heavy touch, so that's just after you lose possession, you try and win it back as fast as possible. And you always try and go and exert a lot of pressure on the players, or the opposition I should say. As for the width, we have it on 20 because you want to try and keep it on as narrow and compact as possible. And as for the depth, you have it on 80, so you want a very high line, you want your players pressing high up the field. It does help for maintaining possession, and the slow build-up which is what you will be using for the offense. And I personally love the idea of having control of the game, making sure you don't let anything slip, so of course it makes the most sense for me. There will be a video out later on, or I should say at some stage, of tactics to use for beginners, so stay tuned for that one. As for the width of the team, you don't want the team to be too wide offensively going forward, so around 50 to 60, that's what I would say. And as for players getting into the box, have it on 8 because you want as many players in the box as possible for when you are whipping in those gorgeous looking crosses. As for the corners and stuff like that, corners and free kicks, have it on 4, so you have at least one player back. For your striker, which in this case is Ronaldo, you want him to stay forward and you want him to get in behind and stay central. You don't want him moving around too much, you want him as that focal point. Now this formation is only successful because of the goalkeeper, right? You want your goalkeeper to be a sweeper keeper, you want him to be coming off of those crosses, catching those balls, making sure his distribution is quite good. Another key factor and element of this is the wingbacks. The wingbacks, you need them to be overlapping consistently as well as making forward runs, I suppose. And then as for your 3 players behind Ronaldo, or your striker, you kind of want Sancho and Bruno Fernandes on that free roam, and you want Rashford as your wide player cutting in. You kind of play as like a striker from time to time, and you will see in the gameplay that the man makes a brilliant run for an early goal. As for Pogba and McTominay, they are your holding midfielders, but you can allow Pogba the freedom to get forward and just be a bit more creative, you know. So I normally have him on get forward, but also have him on aggressive interceptions. And you'll see for all the tactics, for all the instructions I've given, the entire midfield, along with the wingers, all have aggressive interceptions on, and that is vital to trying to win the ball back as high as possible up the field and as fast as possible. So don't forget to use that. That is very important. The downside is though, your players do tend to drain themselves when it comes to stamina, so you need to make sure you've got sufficient players on your bench if you're using these tactics. And now as for the gameplay, we are here at Old Trafford. It's going to be a rip-roaring game of course, and it is Brighton versus Manchester United, so hopefully we can get that win. But yes, we've gone with that amazing 4-2-3-1 formation, and we're going to see how it works. I mean, I know how it works, but you're going to see how it works. So yeah, I mean, the main thing is the distribution from the back. It needs to be on point for this formation to work, and the defense is going to be rock solid. So it's a foundation and a platform to build off of. As you can see here, Brighton got a few early chances as things went on, and with some great blocks, great interceptions in the box. Some things Man United can't actually do in real life, but get a great ball out here to Paul Pogba. Great distribution from De Gea to Maguire to find Pogba eventually, and then Rashford makes a cutting run, and it's sitting for an easy first goal. And you can recreate goals like this all the time because Rashford's got that blistering pace, I should say. And as you can see there, the hard line, Rafael Varane is the saviour in that moment. He just comes across, makes a great tackle, interception, and then it leads to this goal. As you can see there, Ronaldo on his bike runs in behind, and Sancho is there to provide an easy cross, double tap square, the back cross of course. Wink tips and tricks video, don't forget to check that out if you have not, but that's where you'll learn how to do that. And yeah, easy 2-0 up. And what I also like about this formation is, even though we've got that slow build-up and possession-based game going, it does also allow us to have that fast build-up counter-attack elements to it. I mean, as you can see there from the corner, got a great break. Unfortunately, I kind of messed that one up, and Bruno end up getting tackled by Cucurella. So it does work from time to time, the fast-paced build-up, and as you can see here, this is a bad element of these tactics. Got to show the good with the bad. The high line does leave players like Harry Maguire, who are lacking in pace, kind of exposed. But luckily, Alex Telles is there to recover nicely, and it kind of leads to this break where Ronnie, old boy, gets a great shot off, and of course, he misses. So it does suck a little bit, but it's okay, it's alright, we'll get there eventually. But the great chances, like moving it down the wing, great, back post cross, that is where you'll find the element of we've got to get more players into the box. That good old 8 amount of players in the box. Yeah, so you hit that up and it allows back post runs to be made. Your wing backs, if you play with wing backs, can make those runs. Your wingers, back post runs, great. Always open up the edge of the box for some reason. And here we get the final goal of the game with Fred making sure it was happening. Little round the corner pass to Jadon Sancho, who was onside, and the ball in the back of the net, and it's an easy 3-0 win for boys. And as I was saying earlier, the system does work, but you need fit players to do it, and wing backs are essential, as wing backs run up and down the flanks quite a lot. So you need to make sure that you have 2 sets of wing backs or a set of wing backs on your bench. In this case, Aaron Wan-Bissaka came off the bench to, just see out the game. Dallo got hella tired, so it makes sense. And yeah, there we have it. The game, we ended up winning 3-0. It was a great game to play, great game to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed that.